I have a confession to make. For most of my life, my identity hinged on the idea that my value was something that could be measured outside of me. Held up by shoddy scaffolding of obligations and personas I felt I needed to perform. The good Indian daughter, the hardworking career woman, the supportive friend that had it all together. I spent so much time decorating the outside of my life that I hadn't noticed how broken and dated my inner world was. Eventually, one night in the bathroom of a chicken restaurant, my world came crumbling down. You see, I often wonder what the best part is of growing up in the information age. Access to all of human knowledge, the ability to flirt with someone with the swipe of your thumb. No, in my case, my favorite is the ability to go online and diagnose my health symptoms. In my case, it was the ability to go online and look up the symptoms of my very first panic attack while it was happening. What a time to be alive. Or, according to my WebMD results, what a night to potentially die of a premature heart attack. Now, I'm not a doctor, nor will I ever play one on the internet again, but I'm pretty sure I didn't die that night. In fact, I didn't even have a heart attack, not even close. It turns out a panic attack can feel a lot like you're dying. There I was, heart racing, unable to catch my breath, feeling what I could only describe as outright mortal terror. Luckily, I survived that night, no thanks to WebMD, but my understanding of who I was didn't. That night kicked off an 18-month stretch of panic attacks, agoraphobia, and a deep distrust in myself and my body. It would also be the turning point that would put me on a trajectory to a whole new life, a whole new identity. Yes, for you astrology nerds out there, it was full frickin' Saturn return. Now, before this experience, I had what you might call a type A personality. Excessive ambition, a need to win, a deep desire for control. What was giving me all that drive? Was it an instinct for success or some good old-fashioned immigrant guilt? I'll never really know. But what I do know is that I had somehow overachieved my way into a full-blown midlife crisis. That night taught me that I had to make a change. Trouble was, my type A mind had no idea how to do that. I did everything possible to fix it. I read self-help books, all of them. I listened to podcasts, all of them. I made lists and goals and plans, only to leave myself more lost and confused. See, somehow I turned my healing into another opportunity to achieve. And it left me feeling more anxious and confused by the day. Finally, when I'd done everything I could possibly do to fix it and tried everything, it had occurred to me that I had been so concerned with telling a good story about my healing journey that I hadn't bothered to travel it. It was then that I decided I had to do something drastic, something crazy. I had to let go of doing and let myself just be. I had to give myself permission to pause, take a deep breath, and open the door to my own freedom. To face the things I hadn't wanted to face about myself because they were too inconvenient to the identity I was living. To sit with the only person I'd been avoiding, myself, and listen. They say the best way to manage a panic attack is to try not to resist or control the situation, that the best way around it is actually right through it. It was learning that lesson of surrender that helped me to sit in my stillness. And only then was I able to ask myself the most important, most terrifying question of them all. Who are you really on the inside? The answers came, and they continue to show up every day that I dare to ask. You see, I've made peace with my anxiety. I know that it's the gift that has brought so much presence into my life, presence that's helped me to build my inner world up from the inside. And I'm happy to report that today my inner world is beautiful. It's filled with curiosity and creativity and boldness. I have found my voice, and I'm ready to use it. And most importantly, I know right down into my core that my identity is not tied to my productivity, and yours isn't either. See, I can see the positive in this experience now, but I know how serious anxiety can be. Studies show that young people today are some of the most anxious generations in history, that the pressure to curate our lives and project success have never been higher. To them, I say, we are so much more than the vacations we take, the work we do, or the boxes we tick. We are not the stories we tell about ourselves. That when it comes right down to it, our identity is an inside job. And if you still find yourself one day in the bathroom of a restaurant looking up your symptoms, I hope you remember that you're not alone. Thank you.